In this video tutorial, we use a LEGO Education Spy Prime, the motion sensor, a basic program, and we try to do 10 runs to demonstrate the consistency of reaching a mission model.
Find this and more tutorials at flcast.com.